Hi, I'm Noelle Hyman from paperclipping.com. I'm here with Julie Faye-Fan Balzer.
Hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Good.
Balzer Designs is your own company.
Yes, it is.
And we are in the booth of Eco Green Crafts.
That's right, and as you can guess from the name, it's all ecologically friendly products.
Yeah.
Yes, and in fact, you're holding some gorgeous stamp designs, if I do say so myself.
Designed by you.
Designed by me, and because it's Eco Green Crafts, they're going to be made from recycled rubber, which I think is awesome.
Oh.
And so even their packaging is environmentally friendly, everything is, and I tried to design a line of stamps that I felt like were really versatile and allowed people to put their own creativity in instead of just using the stamp and not having any of their own hand in it. Do you know what I mean?
Okay, so we're looking at these designs right
Yes,
now.
Exactly. I like to call this one here containers because I keep thinking, look at all the different things you could contain in there.
All right, and then we've got like these kind of arrowy things,
all sorts
pointy
of cool
things.
borders, and you can build them up. And I thought these would look great with some Zentangling or some doodling once you've stamped them. That alphabet. I think these would be great in a Project Life album or anything like that. There are some card sentiments that are hand drawn at the bottom. And actually, one of my favorite stamps is a set of leaves, and you'll see that there's a totally black leaf down at the beginning, or at the bottom rather. And you'd be thinking, what the heck is that for? But the thing is, I kept thinking, well, why couldn't you write your own sentiment with like your favorite white pen or with some paint? You know how I like to use paint.
Yeah.
So
I really like that one
choices.
too. All right,
Thank you. I'm going to take this away.
We got a few more.
We got a few more. And I do want to point out these amazing texture stamps that are by my friend Nat Callback. And, you know, she does a lot of texture in her work, and I think those are super duper cool. These are some black and white stamps. So see how they're opposite from each other?
Yeah.
So it means that you could stamp this one with red and this one with green, and you'd have a complete image, but they're totally separately just nice red and green. It's kind of a faux screen printing look, which I think is neat. And of course, more stamps that I think are really great for Project Life again. They have that kind of fun attitude.
All right.
I'll take that.
Now we're going to move away from stamps and move on to eco-friendly paint.
Yes. Now, eco-friendly paint. Let's talk about that for a minute. So this paint is awesome. You could eat it. I wouldn't advise it, but you could. But the thing that you need to do is you need to shake it up because it's water-based. There's no oil in it, so it does tend to separate a little bit. So we're going to shake it up, and then I'm just using a tag here as a paint palette, and I'm going to go ahead and put that paint out. And the thing that I want to show you is that this is a paint that can do anything you want. It is both thick enough to stencil with, so I have here just a little peacock stencil. Why don't we flip to an empty page in this board book? And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and do my wax on, wax off, dab on, dab off bit with a cosmetic sponge. And I'm just going to pounce right through that peacock stencil. Okay? And what you're going to see is I'm going to have nice, crisp lines. Really pretty. And yet at the same time, this paint is thin enough that I can just take a paintbrush and like a golden fluid acrylic or any of those paints, I can now write paper clipping or something like that with it. Yes.
No, paper clipping is fine. Not something like that.
Plus Izzy forever. But yeah, so it really is a versatile paint. And of course, because the pigment in here, there's a lot of pigment compared to water, it doesn't wrinkle your paper in the way that a lot of craft paints do. And when it comes, you can see it just has this little tiny foil. You go ahead and you just you got to have some fingernails, I'm going to admit that. You just go ahead and pull it off. Okay, and you can even spritz it straight onto your project. This is a great board book. It has these little dividers that really, even when the book is closed, it really keeps the pages separate so they don't, smack into each other. You can put some dimensional things on it. And look how nicely pigmented, how thick that is. You could cover an entire page, right? Very easily, one coat. And yet at the same time, if you thin it with water, you can get a really soft watercolor look, You can get some splats. I won't splat you, I promise. You can get some splats with a little bit of water. It really is a wonderful, versatile paint. And the fact that it's, ecologically friendly is just a bonus.
It's so pretty too. Like these colors are trendy. I'm noticing.
Yes, very unusual, very sophisticated color palette. I think the gray undertones in the paint really makes it different and sets it apart from the other things available in the craft market. And the price point's amazing. These retail for $2.99. This huge tube, and you can be chintzy with the paint because this is sealed so well. The paint's not going to harden up in there for you.
Okay, now there was one thing you showed me earlier. I remember you buffed it up.
Yes, so cool. This is one of those things that blows my mind. Okay. This is a matte finish, right? This is acrylic paint that comes to a matte finish. That's amazing. Now all I do is I take a paper towel, and through the magic of a paper towel, I'm gonna rub this, you know, not particularly hard, not particularly anything. I'm just gonna rub, 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 rub. And can you see how now it brings up the shine in that paint?
Yeah, I hope they can see that on the video. I mean, it's reflecting.
Yes, yes, and I think it's really cool. Maybe the black will be even more obvious, but it means that you have the versatility really of both a traditional acrylic, you know, and something that's more of a hybrid. There you go. That's a little more shiny maybe in the black area.
It's really beautiful.
And great for art journaling because the pages don't stick together. They really, you know what I mean? You don't have that problem because it's such a matte finish. And the same is true for their matte medium, is you can still write on top of it. And think about it, you could take a pencil and write on top of this acrylic paint. How often can you say that about acrylic?
Okay, so you're saying the paint and the, what's it called, the medium?
The matte medium, it's like any kind of gel medium. So it works as an adhesive and a sealant and a paint extender and all that kind of stuff that you know art journalers and mixed media people love.
You can take a pen and easily write on them?
Easily.
Okay.
Yeah.
So awesome.
I love it. I think it's awesome. And, you know, I think everybody should try paint because paint is awesome.
All right, thanks so much, Julie.
Thank you.
Okay, so we've got Eco Crafts.
Eco Green Crafts.
Eco Green Crafts.
Yes.
Thank you. I'm Noelle Hyman with paperclipping.com.